Yesterday, I turned 46. And I don't know if birthdays do this for you, but they definitely do for me. They provide an opportunity for you to take stock, to pause and to reflect and to think about where you are currently, the things that you're proud of, the things that you still want to achieve, the things that you want to build, the things that you want to improve. And I think the biggest question that kept coming up for me was, if I kept doing what I'm doing now, when I get to 47, where would I be? What would I have achieved? What would change? What would look different? Because the internet tells you that if you have expertise, if you've got knowledge, then you can turn that into income. You can build an audience, you could create digital products, you could go on to speak and teach, write books, become a thought leader. But I want to know what it really takes, not just the highlight reels after somebody has launched something and made 100k. I want to know what happened behind the scenes. I want to know what happened at the beginning of that process. I want to know what happens when a woman who's 46 with a business, a husband, children, responsibilities, bills, a home, self-care practices that have to happen. What happens when she decides to go all in and really go for this? So for the next 100 days, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to be documenting the journey as I go. My name's Chelena. I'm a LinkedIn and a visibility strategist. And apparently I make daily videos. Well, let me tell you how I got here, how this all started. So before I became an entrepreneur, I worked in IT and project management. I was earning quite a good salary. Life was, seemingly okay on the surface. However, I knew that I shouldn't be doing what I was doing. I literally hated every day going into the office. After COVID hit, I don't know, can we say that word? After the C hit, I worked from home. So I was there from 2020 to 2023, working full-time from home. So I got used to a certain lifestyle, like having more autonomy with your day, having dinner ready at a decent hour, as opposed to after a hard commute, then having to figure out what you're going to cook. Just in terms of quality of life and the way that things happened and operated in our home, I loved that. But let me even back up even before then. So I always knew that I should have been building my own business. I knew that I had entrepreneurial blood, and we'll get into that. But yeah, while I was there, I dabbled with different businesses, different initiatives, but nothing really stuck. So let's skip back now to 2023. That feeling in my stomach that I shouldn't be there and needing to find an alternative. It so happens the decision was taken out of my hands, and unexpectedly my contract was ended. And to me, that was almost a silver lining in the cloud. It was a door that opened as one closed, because I decided that rather than getting another contract, I was going to just go full-time into a business that I didn't have. Right? So I got given 6 weeks notice. So I decided in that time I wanted to find something that I could do remotely without me having to go into anybody's building. So I decided I would set up a virtual assistant business. So in that 6 weeks, I got everything operational, the systems, the processes, everything that needed to happen, and actually secured my first client. And that was a contact, a person that I already knew. I reached out and they were like, yeah, I need help with this, this, and this. Anyway, so I say that to say the decision that I had kind of been teetering around the edges, knowing I needed to make, got made and taken out of my hands. And I kind of got thrust into full-time entrepreneurship. which seemed great, right? I was like, finally, I can build my own thing. I've got freedom. I can, be autonomous with my day. But what I found was that I had given up the perks of that stability of income, of having annual leave, of, the perks and the trappings that come with employment, to be working literally around the clock. I went headfirst into this business and, would literally go from my desk to my dining table with my laptop, continuing to work. And what I found was that I was undercharging, over delivering. I ended up, working on LinkedIn, essentially. That was the first project that I went into, and the VA business didn't really take off. I went straight into strategy work because of my experience. I had worked in IT and project management, so I wasn't going to be managing calendars. Nothing wrong with that, but it just wasn't what I was going to do. Instead, I was helping business owners with positioning, with strategy, with their offers, lead generation, selling, all the things that it takes to run an online business. And a lot of that early journey, interestingly, I had actually started to write a book, which I fished out the other day. And it was called From Fear to Freedom. So I was documenting back in, when did I write that? I think that was in 2025. January 2025, I had written that. But things in my business have changed so drastically since then. So I've gone on to build communities, to create programs, to speak on other people's platforms and within their communities. I have digital products. I coach and consult. So things look very different right now. But I'm nowhere near freedom, right? That freedom line has not made its way to me. So I've built a lot of things, but the question that's been ruminating in my mind is, have I built the right things? Have I built things that get me to that freedom line? Or have I just, as I've done previously, created and bought my own job, essentially? So that freedom line has not been crossed. And this is what this 100-day challenge is all around. Me showing up for the next 100 days and documenting what is possible, as I've said, when you go all in. So I attended a masterclass by a lady called Glow, who has a YouTube presence, and was challenged to go all in on the thing that you are obsessing over. And essentially that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years, obsessing over how can you have control, autonomy over your time, that freedom, the options, the choice to choose, the choice to work, the choice to not, the choice to show up how you want to show up, to be who you want to be, as opposed to who your employer, your family, society says you are. So my first thought when I heard making long form videos for 100 days, I was like, love, that's a lot. I didn't quite think that it was something that I wanted to partake in, but I think I was looking at it purely just from a content creation perspective. But then when I paused and I actually gave it really considered thought, I realized that this is an opportunity for me to carry out that experiment, to really pour everything into the next 100 days to see what does it change in terms of my income, what does it change in terms of my confidence, what does it change in terms of my opportunities and visibility, what happens to my YouTube channel that just feels stagnant and as if, I don't know, YouTube has it against me. But what does it do? Does it allow me to become monetized? Does it allow me to sell digital products, to grow my school community off the back of this 100-day challenge? Can I generate any meaningful AdSense income? My goal, I'll be transparent, is to get to 10k months from AdSense. I want to see, is that possible? And I want to share the behind the scenes with you. I don't want to show up and be like, oh yeah, this is what, I'm earning from AdSense, and you guys never see the process, because there's a lot of that. Can this experiment be used to actually create products that people actually need? And that excites me. That really gets me excited. This challenge isn't just about business. So I could build a business and have everything around me falling apart: my health, my marriage, my relationship with my children, my parents, my home. Like, what would that profit me? So this experiment, this challenge, is going to speak and share around the things that are important to me. So what does it mean to build a business as a person of faith? What does it mean, and how do you maintain and sustain your marriage while you've got a busy, launch going on? What does it look like when you've got a sink full of dishes and you've got a masterclass that you need to deliver? What about my health, my body, my rest, my sleep? How do I manage that while building this business? And this probably looks quite strange. I'm sat outside in my garden, but I couldn't be asked to take the cover off the swing, so it probably looks like I'm in some crazy army barracks. These videos are gonna be, for the most part, as authentic and as unedited as possible. Some days it will be filmed on my phone. Quality might not be so great. Some days it will be filmed at my desk. Others I may be in my car. Essentially, this is going to be in the moment, documenting the steps, sharing with you even the numbers. So I'm going to be sharing with you 4 metrics that I'm going to be tracking in terms of numbers. So my growth on YouTube, right? So what does that look like in terms of subscribers, the process to getting monetized, watch time, all that kind of stuff. The numbers around my 2 communities. So I have the LinkedIn Strategy Lab as well as the LinkedIn Sales Accelerator. So I'll be sharing the numbers in terms of new joiners, the churn rates, people that transition and ascend to different tiers. I'll be showing the inner workings of that, as well as my email list, because all of these platforms we don't own, right? So we need to make sure that we own the data. We have means to keep communicating and keep in contact with the people that we're nurturing. So I'll be sharing, what does this process do for my email list? What does this process afford me in terms of the data and the relationships that I can build? So it's a combination of business, but business paired with life, the behind the scenes, the details, the bits that people don't show you. So essentially, I'm the case study, right? So I'll be on some videos teaching. There'll be some where I'm like, I tried this and it didn't work. I tried this and it flopped. Don't do it. No, I'll tell you from my perspective, and you as a sovereign adult can decide whether or not it's something that you want to go ahead and try. But essentially, I'm the case study. I'm gonna test the things, try the tools, do what it takes over the next 100 days to see what grows, what traction I get, what opens up for me, and what becomes possible. So yes, I turned 46 yesterday. I'm excited for the next 100 days. I'm excited for my business. I'm excited for all of the ancillary areas, my health, my marriage, my relationships. And I'm excited to carry you along on this journey. I don't know what things are going to look like in the process or at the end, but I'll be showing up each day to give you the tea, to give you the inner workings. And hopefully, if you are a coach, a consultant, an expert, and you are on the same journey, or you've been considering getting on a similar journey, then I really hope that this will be valuable for you. I hope that this will give you the confidence to go on your own freedom journey. So I'm titling this Project Freedom 46. Come along with me, check in each day, subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications once the videos have been uploaded. Share it with a friend, share it with somebody who you think could benefit. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 2 of this 100-day challenge. Tomorrow I'm going to be showing you the numbers, right? So I want to get a baseline so that as we progress through this journey, we've got something to measure against. I want to share with you what I'm building, what's selling, what's working, what's not working, what software tools I'm investing in, which ones I'm cancelling. You'll be getting all the tea. So turn the notifications on and let's rock on with Project Freedom 46.